Sai Ram to all the listeners. I was trying to put my life with Swami together today for this interview. And I realized there was such a beautiful chain, and Swami had orchestrated every part of the coming few years, prepared us for that by our experiences. I have got my life in 3 sections, really. One is in Windsor, when we sort of really consciously found that Swami had entered our life, because I know he was there in our lives even before. Then the next 12 years was in Pattamathai, which was a charitable hospital by Swami Shivananda. And then since 98, we have been here in General Hospital. And each one of these preceding years has prepared us for the next session. Unbelievable how from simple lessons to lessons in medicine, lessons showing that he has been with us every section of our life. So what I thought, I'll give you a brief introduction to our life before Swami, or before a conscious life with Swami.
Sure.
We were, I would say, honest, hardworking, simple people. West did not attract us. As a matter of fact, after our training, we came back to India to find a job. We did not want private practice because we couldn't ask for money. So we wanted jobs, and every job had pre-selected candidates. So we decided to go back. And when we went back, our life was just children, their education, their helping them, our house life, and our practice. That is all. We had no social life. Then, as a matter of fact, Swami tried to enter our life, in my life, in 1962. Somebody gave us a Sai Satcharita and a pendant. Where he disappeared after that, I do not know. But he left us, or I left him. And so, in 1976, in an Independence Day function,
August 15th,
one of our patients insisted that we come. And we knew nobody.
So this was the Indo-Canadian community function.
Yes. And he insisted that we must come. So every face was a new face, except Dr. Singh's. And we had heard about him, so we sat next to him. And we started conversation. We had realized he goes to India very often. So we said, oh, you go to India very often? Yes. And in those days, Swami had told them, don't publicize me. So it was so difficult to get any information from him. But finally he told us he goes to see Swami. And of course, my husband had read Howard Murphy's Man of Miracles. So he said, is it true? Swami materializes instruments and does surgery. So he said, he does that and much more. If you are interested, come to the center. It is every Sunday, 10 to 12.
That is his residence in Windsor.
Residence in Windsor. So we ended up, the next Sunday, all 4 of us, my son, my daughter, us, we went there. And what impressed us was the punctuality. The program started right at 10. The discipline, the bhajans, and of course later, the teachings. And somehow, all my life, the miracles have never attracted me too much. But the teachings were absolutely, so attractive that we were always talking only about the teachings. And my parents had instilled these same values, but I sort of learned to reinterpret them. And I will come to that in a few minutes. So we started going and we were actively involved. It didn't take us any time, all 4 of us. My son resisted a little bit because sitting quiet was not his style.
He must have been a little boy then.
He was 9, I think, 9 or so. So, but he is a musician and he loves playing. And from nowhere, he was playing accordion a little bit. But bhajans came like that so easily for him. He would push my daughter away. He said, you sit, I will play the harmonium. So that came very easy for him. So he was attracted for that. And we were attracted because the teachings were so sound and so useful. And I had growing up children. Canadian society outside was very different. And surprisingly, the children children were also attracted to the teachings. So I will tell you a few of the lessons that we learned early. One was, what is kindness? We had been, be kind to people. So we had one day, my husband was going to a meeting across to Detroit, suited nicely. And on the way, the tunnel, there was a man in cold. He was shaking and he was asking for a ride. And my husband, we had just learnt about all this, what Swami likes us to do. So he stopped the car, got him in, got across the border. So when we went to the other side, said citizenship, said Indian, Canadian. Then he said, that man, says, I don't know. You mean you have somebody in your car and you don't know who he is? Pull up. So he stopped. Then this man used the filthiest language. So what is your problem? He's taking me across. What? Like that, he talked to the immigration officers. And finally, they knew he was not a big problem. They told my husband, realize that we could have put you in jail for taking across somebody without knowing who he is, what he is. This is not done. Don't do it. He crossed. He dropped the man. They said, drop him at that corner. He says, what's your business? He will drop me where he wants. Like that he was. He dropped and went. And as he crossed, he shook like, he said, what have I done? When he did it, he had no problem. After he finished and crossed, so Swami says, you can be kind, but you must think.
Yeah,
you must think. You cannot do something against a law. And this is against a law. This was one. The other thing was, we went to a retreat.
A Sai retreat?
Sai retreat. In, what is it?
London?
Anyway, no, St. Louis, Missouri. So there was a couple, Afro-American, fair boy. They had a fair boy. They were told that he has admission in the Uti school under Mrs. Verma. I don't know whether you know.
The first principal of the Uti school.
Uti school.
Yes.
So they said, see, we can't come twice. We'll go now and then we have to take the child out in December when the school closes. Therefore, could you take him? So we thought, well, this is Swami's service. Let us take him. They came to our house, stayed with us, introduced the boy to us. We were new parents, etc., etc. And we came with a one-way ticket for the child. We came here, he had no admission. They said, we never promised, he has no. So now, my son's admission was also one of our issues. So we were running to Mr. Srinivasan, Bhagawantam sir was there, one after the other, to get admission for this boy. And he couldn't get it. Finally, my husband had to leave with him home. And we had to buy a ticket for him. And there was no, we used up all our foreign, travelers' checks. We still couldn't get it. We got some Indian money. And Indian money, if you take, you need a P form. And for P form, you take 3 days. And he has to fly that day. But we got, Swami was there. Within half an hour, we got our P form. And I went with my husband, my son and daughter stayed back. So they went away. When they landed in New York, they said, where is the father? Oh, father is waiting in Detroit to pick him up. He says, you mean you're bringing a minor without a letter, without any authorization across the international borders? Again, he did it. So he says, he didn't have an answer. He says, this is a crime to bring a child. How do we know you're not abducting the child? So that was the second time he did it. Kindness. So you have to
learning important lessons.
Learning, absolutely, very
right
early.
From the beginning.
Very early. So he said, so you have to see what is kindness. The second lesson was being not wasteful. One of the things we used to do is Swami says, don't waste. So we'll come to Bangalore and take a bus to Puttaparthi. 5 hours. We had never been used to Indian buses. Long time. So,
and the road was awful.
The road was bad and we had baggage from states. So all this and the boys' schooling, all the things were there. And we came. Later somebody said, okay, you were very careful, you didn't waste. What did you do with the money? You kept it in your bank. That's a waste. Money must circulate. So if you are not wasting, use it for a good reason. Otherwise, use it, let it circulate, come in a taxi, and also travel what is appropriate. It doesn't look nice. You travel like a beggar when you can afford.
You're flying it in a jet and then taking a bus.
Exactly. So this was the other lesson. And talking about the wastefulness, 1 year my husband had such an intense desire to come to India. But we had just come and gone. He said, Swami is everywhere. Why should I waste money going to India to see Swami? Swami is here with us. So, you can justify anything you want to. So that one weekend he was on duty. They rotate in duties. And you wouldn't believe he has never had such a practice. 3 unusual lawnmower injuries. Toes in the lawnmower so that the toe is chopped off. 3 in a row. Summer you get 2 injuries, but not 3 in a row. My husband said, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh were lying down with toes for Pada Seva. Like that. Then one gentleman just had his elbows taken off. He was sitting, driving like that, and another truck hit him. The hand came off. Then an appendix. Then he made the money needed to come to India, come back in that one day. Showing, Swami says, when I give you the feeling that you have to come, I will also take care of what you need. So you don't have to worry about where is the money, why the waste and all. So again, waste is a definition. And how you use it, we learned from Swami. So since then, either we use or we sort of don't waste is a good lesson.
Yeah.
But these were the 2 early lessons. What is a general teaching and what is personal advice? 2 different things. Generally, you must take care of so-and-so, so-and-so, so-and-so. But if Swami says, leave and go, that takes a precedence to anything else that you have learned.
Because that's specific to you as a person.
At that time.
At that moment in time.
Yes. So we had a summer course for children. And one gentleman got up and said, meat eating is okay. And here we are, all of us stunned. So Swami couldn't have said it. That's not true. A gentleman like that would not lie. But misinterpretation. And what had happened was he was very fond of non-vegetarian food. And Swami must have told him, Swami, can I eat meat? Okay. Because at that time you're not ready to give it up. So...
And his Swami was more like a mirror. Sometimes he'll just reflect what you want to.
That is true too. And here, if he had told him, leave it, you would have been thinking of only non-vegetarian food, not Swami.
Yeah.
Swami gives you time to relate to him and then slowly it will
reach that stage.
So it is not that somebody doesn't understand or says a lie. But there is a time and place for doing things. And Swami does it exactly at the right time. And so if he tells you, go there, you're going east and he says, go west, you go west. That is how obedience to Swami is that.
Yeah, that's a topic I'll touch upon a little later in the interview because I know there are many such instances of complete obedience that you had to practice in your life. But before we go any further, when was the first time that you and your family came to see Bhagawan in person?
77 we came.
Right after the very following
following year.
And did you have an opportunity to interact with him?
Not at all. We were far away. It was Guru Purnima time. He was in the auditorium in Vrindavan one day. And we had, how the crowd is. Yeah. We had come with 10 days for my parents, 10 days for my husband's parents, 10 days for Swami. Equal division. So because we had not related to Swami or known people how to relate. So we said even division. We will come to Swami, see. So, but the feeling was total that we knew him and that he made you so comfortable.
Speak to you. You just felt that sense of connection.
That's very comfortable with it. And that was it. And we didn't feel sad that we didn't have anything more. And we went back.
Most people don't realize that this privilege of being his devotee does at times call for really very strong, infinite resignation to his will that you were speaking of earlier, complete obedience. I think most people would be perplexed to see such a highly educated family like yours making seemingly irrational choices in your journey with Swami. So I would really like for you to touch upon these instances. concerning your daughter Soumya, who is a successful pediatrician now in the US. And it was about her medical education. She had some tough choices to make because by the time she went to high school, she was totally into Swami and she was very keen to please him, and so was the rest of the family. How did this whole dilemma play out?
Fortunately, he had prepared us by some other smaller episodes. Like one was coming back to India. We were at the peak of our practice, but we were always Indian. We always wanted to come back. So though it looks like it was a big decision, it wasn't for us. It was so easy that we
1984.
We slipped into it. This is June 84. We slipped into it. We were happy. And 84, he told us, come back in 5 years.
So that would
he
be
gave us a 5 years, 89. And we were waiting for June 89 exactly to complete 5 years. And we were in the plane. We were coming back. That was not as much a challenge as Soumya's was. She had had a very vivid dream. We were sitting in the sands in Shivaratri time. And Swami walked by and said, do you want to please me? If you want to, quit medicine. And she was now in the 4th year, just 3 months before she would graduate.
Of med school?
Of med school.
In Canada?
In Canada. Yearbook was published, photographs were taken. They had applied for all the postings. Internship is all applied for in December. So everything was done. She had chosen her what subject and everything was done. And Swami came in her dream. So she took 1 week. She was not at home. She was in residence in London, Ontario.
University of Western Ontario.
Western Ontario. Then after a week, when she decided, she called home and she said, I want you both to be on the telephone. I have something to tell you. And she said, Swami has asked me to quit medicine. And
what was your reaction? Your daughter is finishing successfully her medical program.
Very surprising. He said, what do you think? She said, I want to quit. Then quit. Can you imagine? We were not stunned, nothing. She called and she had made the decision. Very good. Quit. You would think we were absolutely brainless to have answered that way. 1 week later, we said, what have you done? Because by 1 week, she had withdrawn from the college, she had brought everything back, and there was no turning back. At that time only, we said, maybe we should have not allowed her to do that. But one thing was, my son was studying here. So we had telegrammed him saying that Swami had such a dream. Ask Swami whether he wants her to quit. And he sat with the telegram and Swami said, yes. Ask her to quit.
So
Finished.
You had validation from
Validation. So she came home and we were challenged. Till that time we were okay. Somehow okay. But the center people, my brother-in-law, everyone, how can you do that? You believe, why are you spoiling your daughter's life? Bombarded from every direction. And then we also started thinking, maybe we're rash in doing all this. Anyway, there was no turning back anyway. And my daughter was very secure in her decision. So she would sit at home. She will cook for us. She will play the harmonium, sing bhajans. And Swami will come in her dream practically every day and give her lessons. Some she would share with us, some she will not. She has a whole book of her, how long is it? February to April, 2 months. We were like this. Then, because it was, it was more than that. Because it was Shivaratri time, we thought Swami will call us during Shivaratri. Shivaratri came and went. No indication of when to come to India. Then in April, my son sent a telegram, Swami wants you to come. So we came. And first interview, Swami said, what are you doing? What are you doing? And then he asked Soumya, what are you doing? Nothing. What do you mean by nothing? Swami, you told me to quit medicine. Oh, imagination, all imagination. She says, my husband hardly ever talks. He said, no, Swami, I've got the telegram.
You confirmed it in person?
In person. So he said, yes, I said then, now ask her to go back. Now, this was April. Already admissions for the next session is gone.
Done.
And also, the dean had asked her so many times, take a year off. Don't quit. But she couldn't tell them why she is quitting. If you are burnt out, doesn't matter. Take a year or two.
She was such a bright student.
And also she was very young. She was 18 when she entered medical college. Usually people finish degree at that time. Anyway, so
she went back to...
She went back. She
same
had to
university?
Go back. Same university. She has to,
London.
And she went back to the dean now. And he said her file was just being shelved. And they said she was just in time. So he said, what's the matter? So she says, I want to continue. He says, why did you quit? He says, I have a guru who told me to quit. So if the guru asked you to murder, will you do that? Oh, these people do not ever think of harming anybody. They are for the welfare of the whole universe. So then he must have seen something wrong in my future if I had continued. So he asked me to stop. Now I want to, he has asked me to return to medical school. And of course, she was a good student, but they said, we have to put you through. We want a letter from a Hindu, one who believes in your religion. Then we want you to bring a letter from one who believes in your guru. And the third one will be a psychiatric examination that you're okay, that you're not off your head. So the person with Hindu faith used to teach Bhagavad Gita in the university. He couldn't understand how we could mess up our daughter's life. Says,
I guess it's one thing to read the Bhagavad Gita, quite another to walk the talk.
Exactly. So anyway, he used to love us so much. So he said, okay, I'll give a letter. But if you don't have the heart in it, your letter also doesn't sound
reflected, yes.
Miss Dr. Singh also said, Dr. Saab, sab to theek hai. I mean, everything is okay, but you can't take her out of medical college like that just on a dream. Anyway, we had to convince him, Bhai Saab, please write a letter. So he also wrote a half convincing letter. No, convincing letter, but with a half heart. So anyway.
I guess explaining the Guru Shishya Parampara and how this culture operates.
Yes, and who Sai Baba was and how many good things he's doing and all. Finally, the psychiatrist was the one who gave the most beautiful letter. He said, not only is she sound of mind, she has a very sound moral and ethical value.
Wow.
And she will be an asset to the medical profession. She got it. And she finished 1 year behind her class. So now she had to change her line because she couldn't apply to the same places and explain why all the story. So she decided she will change. And she wondered what to do. And she remembered one earlier interview we had with Swami. We were all doctors. So you're a heart, you're an orthopedician, eye doctor, surgeon. What are you? Children? And he left it. We didn't understand children. She's so young. We had not thought of it as a children's doctor at that time. My daughter reflected back and she says, Swami wants me to do pediatrics probably. So she went into pediatrics.
In Ottawa?
And first in Toronto, then in Ottawa. And now, of course, she's in Phoenix, Arizona. But it was a tough thing. But it challenged us and made us courageous and have a very sound, faith in Swami, that he will not let you down. And we know now that her life couldn't have been better.
Mm-hmm. And I guess that's where she met her future husband in Ottawa.
Yes, she met him in Ottawa.
So whatever happens for the good, even though it seems so crazy at that moment.
So crazy. And we were bombarded by the center, by...
Terrible peer pressure, isn't it?
We used to take off the telephone, off the hook sometimes. But hospital calls will come. So when we were on duty, it will be on. Otherwise, Sundays we would, because brother-in-law made it a point to call us regularly.
To remind you that you were brainwashed and spoiling your child's future. Well, when you look back in hindsight, all the dots connect so beautifully.
Yes.
Everything is perfect.
But we don't know the dots ahead of time.
I know. And that's why we are so uncertain and insecure. Well, I believe this sort of uncertainty played out again when you came with great enthusiasm after 5 years of preparation, when Swami gave you a 5-year grace period to wind up all your work in the West and return to his lotus feet, which you did in 1989, perhaps expecting a royal welcome back into his fold.
No, we had given up that. We said Swami will give us what is due.
And what came your way?
Frozen. We were in the freezer.
Put on ice?
Put on ice. Swami would come this way and then jump, go beyond.
So he was ignoring you?
Totally. And we took some time to even realize that because we had no pressing points. We had to be placed somewhere. Otherwise, we had no problems. So he said, so many people have so many problems. Naturally, Swami has to pay attention to them.
Till you realize, no.
Then no answer. So my husband said, listen, I'm not going to sit here forever. We had met one gentleman long before that. He would say, Swami ke kucho ke dhande mein pad gaye, to bada mushkil hota hai. I mean, if you are sitting, because Swami said, sit down. Kucho, you're gone. So my husband said, no, 6 weeks, we will be here. Otherwise, all of India is Swami's. And we will go. And we had already decided we will go only to rural India. So he will guide us. So we waited for 6 weeks and still we were in the freezer. But Swami guided us to Shivananda Hospital.
This was in Tamil Nadu, in a place called Pattamathai,
where Swami Shivananda was born. So they had made a hospital, centenary hospital, but they couldn't get any doctors to stay. Resident doctors, they couldn't.
And how did you know you were meant to be there?
Because we went to this foreigners lecture, and as we walked in, they were talking about Swami's visit to Rishikesh, Swami Shivananda.
That's in Prasanthi Nilayam you went to the foreigners lecture.
I think it was somewhere here only in those days.
Yes.
So we went in, and this is what. So we already, a gentleman had approached us that Swami has so many doctors. Why don't you come to Shivananda Hospital? We are in need of doctors. So we said, no. Swami has to tell us we have to come. And here we walk in and this. So we thought maybe this is an indication. So we went to Rishikesh. We met Swami Chidanandaji, who is the president. And as we walked in, he opens a suite and he says, oh, Sai Sweets. And he thought we had brought it, but somebody else had brought it. So for us, in both places, Swami was there and Shivananda was being mentioned. So we went and we got to this place where we spent 9.5 years.
What was the experience like?
Beautiful. And as I said, we didn't go back to the first part. The experiences Swami had given earlier were so important for us to be in Pattamathai, because we knew Swami was with us and Swami will hold our hand. We did such major surgeries with what? 2 of us were the only resident doctors. The others 4 doctors were coming from city, will stay for the OPD and go back. We're the only 2 doctors and we had no anesthetist. He will come on Sundays from the teaching hospital. And we did such big surgeries only because Swami had shown earlier in Windsor that he was with us for small surgery, big surgery, and he will guide us to stop the surgery at a particular point and give us a diagnosis which we were missing. So we knew Swami was with us. We can do as long as we worked hard and we thought out.
As Swami said, all good work is God's work, regardless of where you carry it out.
Exactly. We knew he was with us. And of course, our mothers were there.
So it really played out well for both your moms.
A bungalow with 3 bedrooms. We had only asked for running water and sanitation. He said anywhere in village, asking for more is not possible. But they gave us this. Mothers were very happy. Puttaparthi, they couldn't have climbed up. They couldn't have lived in a small room at that time. So Swami had
timed it perfectly.
Timed it. Mothers were happy till the end. They were so happy. And we had the joy of sending them off happy. They never thought we will come back. So that was Pattamathai. And Pattamathai's surgical experiences were great.
You mentioned that you always knew Swami was guiding you through the surgery because based on your prior experience in Canada where he helped you with diagnosis and surgeries, do you recall any particular instances when you were treating patients and you felt his hand in guiding you?
So many times. I'll just give you a few of them.
Sure.
There was an old lady.
In Canada?
In Canada. She was a grandmother-in-law of one of our doctors. And he said, please, operate on her. She was dying, practically. Sweaty, no pulse, and the anesthetist,
What was wrong with her?
cholecystitis, gallbladder was inflamed.
Okay.
But she was so thin, the gallbladder was almost looking at you.
Oh,
It
I
was
see,
right
popping
there.
up.
Popping. So the anesthetist said, I can't give anesthesia, I'll give her oxygen and a little sedation, and you do your surgery quickly. He just had to incise, and the gallbladder popped out. But before doing any gallbladder surgery, there is a blood test that you have to do. And he had ordered it, and usually the nurses put it in front of the chart so that the doctor can look at it before he does the operation. He, in the intensity of the situation, he operated, closed, and in Canada, for a surgeon to operate, he must have another surgeon to assist, FRCS or CRCS. Not a general, MBBS cannot assist. So the operation was finished, the gentleman walks, and this gentleman usually takes 100 years to walk out of a place. Slow he will go. But as soon as he closed, he looked at the test, he said, my God, I should have done more surgery. I shouldn't have done just the removal of the gallbladder. So they page him. He's gone. He's not in the hospital. And he calls the anesthetist. He has gone for a delivery. So he cannot do the surgery, reopen and do the surgery, what is indicated by the test. So he said, okay, I will do it tomorrow. But this doctor who was assisting never leaves the hospital like this. But he was gone. So Swami did not want the surgery to be any more than
Any
what was
further,
done. The next day he goes to the patient and he says, Mrs. Chuba, I have to do you again. There is a stone left. Hi, doc. The stone is gone. I don't have a stone. And we watched her and we watched her. She was fine. So Swami stopped. Had he seen the test, he would have done a bigger surgery and she would have died. So Swami stopped him. Another case, there was a fat, big lady who was operated again for the gallbladder. And she had a drainage and she poured fluid out. We kept looking, what is the reason? What is the reason? We couldn't find out. One day, my husband goes for rounds and there is a test in front of the chart. This is the test he has not ordered. So he asked me whether I ordered. I didn't order. And there are a couple worked together. He asked everyone who has ordered. Nobody had ordered. The test was there. It gave the diagnosis.
Oh my God.
So he makes the diagnosis. He stops us from doing anything more than we have to. And one other thing, there was a lady, a friend, who always got dreams about our interaction with Swami. And she one day called and she said, Dr. Sath, you do funny stitching. Normally we are very confident. We don't tell people who we are operating on. It is a dark-skinned man, Indian or Pakistan. And you were stitching so funnily. And she showed exactly the surgical suture. Mm-hmm. And you know what? Swami was walking up and down. It was a serious case. You had called a consultant. And when it was all right, Swami said, success, and walked out. Mm-hmm. So, Swami was in the theater when all of this was happening.
And her dream reflected exactly.
Exactly. All the skin, it was a dark-skinned man. So Sir said, Sir, Swami, you come in everyone's dream. I don't know you are there. The next day he gets a dream. Just suturing a little laceration in the emergency room in a hospital. And Swami was there. Mm-hmm. So,
just to
for small case, big case, diagnosis you want, all of these. So many difficult to, little things. But these were the interesting cases. So we knew if he was there, he will be here where only two of us are there. So we had a very, very medicine and surgery have been our life. We have always enjoyed working and working hard. We'll stay up all night. In Pattamathai, we had nobody. So when he will be operating, I will be sitting with the post-op cases because he has operated and left them. And we sometimes slept in the hospital. Hospital was not very far away, but we slept there so that we don't even miss a few minutes in taking care of them. Mm-hmm. So that's why, knowing only because we knew Swami was there, we could have taken that step. Otherwise, we couldn't have done big surgeries. with
I
soul.
guess Swami took care, gave you the right kind of life experiences, professional
Before.
experiences, financial security to be able to dedicate yourself so thoroughly. Not many
that-
many people can dream of it, but they cannot translate into reality without God's grace.
Yes, absolutely. He was with us. And this is in practice. He also showed us that He's with us in our day-to-day life. Sir was he was finishing some sound system arrangement for one of our Sai meetings. And he was coming back, and there is a left turn one has to make from the main road. The main road is like that. Some people can make a left. One big truck made a left turn in front of his Datsun, and the Datsun was a right out. And had it been 1 second later, he would have been crushed on the spot. But he escaped just unscathed. He walked out of the hospital. The police called me, "Madam, your husband has been in an accident, but please come and pick him up." To let me know that he is not seriously injured. Not injured at all. The car was gone, but he was. So, I mean, what more? He is there to take care of you
He
like
says,
that.
if you do my work, I will take care of
I
yours.
will take care of. Then there was one other episode where there was a lawsuit against the hospital. I was the consultant. The son was very upset that the father died. No, I said angry. So when the subpoena we had already made plans to come here, but the subpoena was served just a week before we were leaving. So we said we'll go and we will come back. So as soon as I came, I gave the subpoena to Swami. Swami, the son is very angry. Not angry. He's just upset. And he went away. We came with a date to go back because the case was there. My son said, "You don't do that with Swami. You have to let Swami decide when you have to go back." So we cancelled our ticket. We were learning how to sort of relate to Swami. So you don't come with a plan, he makes the plan for you. Every few weeks he will ask me, "When are you going?" "Swami, when you say." Again, he played on like that. In those days, you couldn't get taxis as easily. Or taxi, you'll have to call Bangalore, it will come in 3 hours. Every 1 week, we were not even giving our laundry. We'll pack up. Today Swami will send us. Today Swami will. Absolutely, we were nervous in some ways. My husband said, "You know what? This is, what is it called? A contempt of court if you don't appear. So you'll be in jail." I said, "If Swami wants me in jail, that's where I will be." So anyway, the last day, I think it was 10 o'clock, Swami called us for an interview. "Go." So we came out. I mean, you couldn't have been happier when he said go. People don't like to be told. So we like no taxi. Then one taxi had come to deliver somebody. So we ran to him. "Are you free to take us?" "You can." So we went in that taxi. No tickets. 2 tickets from Bangalore to Bombay. No further tickets. We went there. We stood in the line. And the last 2 tickets to go to New York. From New York, of course, it was not difficult. As I landed in New York, my secretary calls. I called her. She said, "Where are you, Dr. Hema? Case tomorrow." I said, "I know that." She said, "Everyone has been looking for you. Your lawyer has been looking for you very bad because he wanted to coach me. And Swami did not want any because there was nothing wrong in what I did. It was a straightforward thing. And he didn't want me to be muddled up with what the lawyer says. The lawyer wanted me to be in his room in the morning. I went, he had nothing to say. "Do you remember the case?" I said, "Yes, I know everything." And I went. This was the day before Indira Gandhi was
19th of November. No.
No. October 31st.
That's right.
84.
Yes.
So I walked into the case was going so badly for the hospital. Morning session. Everyone who is not a, what is it called? Criminal case. So I can sit. Witnesses can sit in. And I heard where the loopholes they are picking. Then in the afternoon, they said, "Doctor, please introduce yourself and tell us your association with this case." Swami had given me a vibhuti. I held it and I don't know what I talked. He said, "Where did you graduate and all?" And in direct, they can't cross-examine. So they let me talk from 1 o'clock to 4:10 or so. And you should have seen the faces of my nursing superintendent, hospital administrator. They were all so relaxed because I had plugged all the holes. And then the defense said, sir, it's too late in the day. I have a very long cross-examination. Can we adjourn and come tomorrow? The next day, he couldn't ask me 5 minutes worth of question. The case we won. And Swami had kept me till the last minute, sent me and cleared the case. So this is how he has taken care of us every little way. When we were in Windsor, we used to have bhajans at 7 p.m. every day at home. Children may join because they were not at home at that time. Husband may be there, but whether there is one person or not, we will start the bhajan. One day we had, it was a weekend. I had to go to Toronto on some Sai work. I don't remember what it was. I came home and there was still time. I was invited to an opening of a Bal Vikas in Monroe, Michigan. So I thought I'll go and come back.
Across the border.
Across the border. I have enough time. I will come back. I was crossing the bridge. It was 7 o'clock. So I said, my God, it's 7 o'clock. I said, Om, and I started bhajans.
Driving and singing.
Driving and singing and came home. We are very close to the bridge. When I came, my garage opener had got locked inside the garage. And the second garage opener was with a friend who was supposed to have left the garage open. And he wasn't there. There was a white car in front of my house. So I went to the next door and I said, can I call my friend? And I called and I came back. The white car was gone. And my friend came and I said, how come you didn't open the garage? I have been up and down. He said, Didi, maine to khola tha. I had opened it. And as we opened the door, there was a big breeze, meaning that some other door was open inside.
Yeah, that's where the draft is coming.
Draft is coming. The inner door he had locked and the outer door was open. Instead, now the garage door was closed and the inner door was open. So we thought somebody had broken in. So here we go with a hockey stick inside and looked. Nothing was touched. Everything was in place. So he said, anyway, somebody has come in. So it's not safe for you to be alone. I was alone. So he said, come home and tomorrow morning you can go to work. I said, no. I have to get ready for work and it's not easy. I'll be here. I'll sleep in the basement where our altar was. I'll be safe. So I slept there. He went away. Next morning, I get a call. Hema ji, you know what? Raj had a dream. This is the same lady who dreamt about the stitches. Said, Shirdi Baba came and he said, 7 bajne ke chand minute pehle main aaya tha. That is, few minutes before 7 o'clock, I came. And so you don't have to worry. Saying, you can imagine. And he would say, 7 bajne ke chand minute pehle. He did that. He
gesture.
Hand gesture. Exactly like Swami, how he did. I was there. You were not there. And the white car. In those days, Swami was driving a white car. And the white car disappeared as soon as I came.
That's not the car you had spotted.
So I thought it was a thief who had run away. It was
Bhagawan,
the big thief.
Yes, the one who stole your heart.
Right.
Big time.
Right.
And he also wrenched your heart sometimes and squeezed it really hard.
But that is okay. Now, once he loves you like that, it doesn't matter.
He's entitled to it.
It was hard though. Yeah. The experience you were going to.
About the Kodaikanal, I was going to ask you that I believe one time Bhagawan invited you to accompany him to Kodaikanal, but the catch was you had to come by yourself while your husband was really sick and he expected you to leave him behind and put a Parthi. How did that happen?
We had been praying twice before he had taken us. Therefore, we thought this year also he's likely to take. And the first year he took us as guests. Second year he took us as doctors. The third year I said, God, if he calls us, we don't want to go. Swami, please don't call. Because he couldn't have managed and I couldn't have managed.
Your husband was very ill at
Very
that time?
ill. He couldn't walk straight. He needed 24 hours attention. So I said, this is not possible. We were praying. Have you ever heard of people praying not to be taken?
It's a dream for most devotees.
Yes. We prayed so. And he calls us for an interview. He says, come to Kodaikanal. So we had told him, if you are calling us, you must make him better. At least travel worthy and not be a problem to everyone. So we thought, okay. there is a funny thing about this also. First year, we had packed, our dresses will be separate, but our toiletry will be together. Second year, he put us in two different places. So we sat on the roadside and separated our
Divided
toiletry.
our soaps and our paste.
So this time, we had packed everything separately, smartly. So, we were all right. Then I had called Sri Chakravarti and I said, sir, he cannot get into the bus here, go to the airport, get down. He was not fit to do that. So can we come by car to the airport? He says, but he is not coming. I said, what? He's not coming, only you are coming. He said, not possible. And I cried because I couldn't imagine how he was going to manage without me.
And he was
Big
so
me.
ill. Yeah.
Anyway, and my friends were with me. Said, let's go and ask Chakravarti sir, what the real thing? How will you go? He's so sick. So we went. But just before we went, he had confirmed with Satyajit that Swami did want only me. So he said, I have talked and only you are going. And he said, don't say he has to come with you. Don't say you will not go. Because don't we all say, Swami does everything? Why are you thinking you are doing? Just be quiet and come. I thought about it. I said, isn't it true? We always say Swami does. And yet when it comes to the real thing, we forget he does. We think we are doing. So I went home, wiped my ears, and I had to break it to my husband. I said, you are not coming? I am going. Oh, okay, go. That was his response. He has always been so easy with Swami's decisions. So my friend said, okay, I will come for lunch, you come for dinner, we will take care of him, and here are 3 keys of the house. You have one, you have one, you have one. I had no key. Only those 3 had the key because I was going away. So Swami calls us for an interview again that evening, probably to see how swollen my face was. So, and then he said, he had told me before, get pain medicines. And he says, how many types of pain medicines do you have? I said, this upsets stomach, this does this, this does. Where are the medicines? Swami, I have packed it. What packed it? Go and get it. So I went and but my room was locked and the keys were with somebody else. So I went to the hospital to get the similar medicine.
So you left the interview room to grab medicines
because
to show
he
Swami?
wanted, and my husband was with Swami for 15 minutes alone. And I asked my husband, what did you do? We both sat and looked at each other.
Oh my God, how beautiful.
Yeah, he prepared him for the stay.
Yeah.
That was a 10-day stay, I think. That time it was short.
When you were away for 10 days.
I was. And he was beautifully taken care of.
15 minutes alone with Swami, eyeball to eyeball.
And nothing else, quiet time. And so, these are, every time he has given us a challenge, the result has been just beautiful. It's just, Somya's, our return was the easiest one, not a challenge. I won't even, because he has just fulfilled our wish. But my daughters and sirs was really hard to begin with.
I understand your husband's health has been a matter of concern, not only to you, to Bhagawan as well. There was a time when he was hospitalized and Swami showed great compassion. Please share with us the experience.
Oh, that was beautiful. That was the year we came here. 98, after the mothers passed away, he let us start working here. And 1 month, October, Paduka Puja was going on, and my husband had a massive GI bleed, gastrointestinal bleed, and following that he had chest pain. So he was rushed to Super Speciality Hospital, CCU, where they thought he had a heart attack. And Dr. Bhagawan was our medical superintendent. And it was, of course, customary that they will go and tell Swami, Swami, this is our doctor, has had a problem, he is admitted. So when he told him, who is Gopinath? Swami says, every day in the veranda, he will be talking to my husband. So he says, who is this Gopinath? So he says, Swami, you talk to him every day. So, oh, but he's so thin and he doesn't smoke. But Swami, he is in the hospital. The doctors think he has a heart attack. Normally, Swami will give vibhuti. He didn't give vibhuti also. So he was very downhearted that he is in the hospital. Swami has given nothing. Next day, while the Paduka Puja is going on, Swami comes, Gopinath, I have come just for you.
To the hospital?
Floating through the CCU, came to him. And rubbed his hand on his chest and asked for a little water, put vibhuti, gave it like a mother. And somebody had said it was worth being sick. Yes, very.
For the tender, loving care of the Lord.
And the Lord said, it is not heart, it is only gas. And he recovered. And what happens is once Swami takes over, nobody discharges you. Only Swami has to tell. So I had to sit in darshan line. Swami, yes, he can come home. Then he walked back and he said, not to the sea floor. Get a room in the ground floor. We were unknown people here. So when I went to the accommodation, Swami didn't tell us that you need a ground floor room. I said, see, I can go up to the sea floor. I have no problem. Swami said, I'm telling you, I will go. So he said, okay, here is the key for 3 days. After that, we can see. Nobody asked us after that. We stayed downstairs till Swami said, go up. Now, there is a issue in relation to this. At that time, there is a very lovely VIP lady. She fell and she was a bad asthmatic on cortisone. She fell and she had a huge hematoma, fracture, dislocation of the shoulder. And my husband was still recovering. The daughter and son-in-law came to him, said, come and see my mother, what we can do. They came with a car, took him. And he said, God, she is a surgeon's, what do you call it?
Nightmare?
Nightmare. She nobody can touch her. She's so sick and they can't do anything. So he came away. Next day, there was a doctor who used to take my husband for darshan. He was sitting in darshan, closing his eyes. Swami came to him and he said, she's having a lot of pain. She said, we must do something. Why don't you put anesthesia just there and just local enough.
And then operate?
Local and then you can manipulate it.
Okay, manipulate the shoulder.
So he said, Swami is saying, okay, Swami. And Swami gave a date. Swami gave the time. And on that day, the lady was sitting at the gate. Swami came, blessed her, gave vibhuti and said, by 10:30, everything will be over. And so my husband also very happily, Swami has done it, she will be all right. Took her to surgery. It just put the anesthesia local. She died. So, now, what is the lesson in all of this? If you think when Swami says do something, results are good, it is not. It doesn't have to. They are good at a different plane.
Level.
For that lady, life might have been very miserable with pain and all. And she had finished her karma. Swami wanted her. He wanted an instrument to do that to her. So he got my husband. And my husband was not, he was sad this happened. But he said, who knows, I have just come back from Canada. Maybe I had a table death. Patients can die on the table. And maybe I had a court case. All of that, Swami has made it brief here like this. Because evidently the lady's son was going to sue doctor for this. But Swami told him, no, this is like that or whatever. He convinced. We don't know what he told the son. But so my husband thought Swami had minimized what he might have had gone through.
Face otherwise. And he did tell her it'll all be over by 10:30. In retrospect, it made sense.
But he didn't know what would be over. We all think surgery will be over, not life will be over. So that was.
If I may backtrack, you mentioned that Swami sent you away when he spent 15 minutes exclusively with your husband. He sent you away to bring some painkillers. Did he comment on any painkillers?
When I came, of course he said, 2 minutes for all this. One will upset the stomach, one is not a good thing for liver. And I think he wanted time with my husband, that's all. This was an excuse. Because there was
send
not
you
time.
Away from the room for a bit.
Yeah.
I see.
So,
are there any other poignant moments that you've shared with Bhagawan or interactions you've had that you could share with us? The ones that come to mind.
In 2002, my daughter-in-law needed help. Her baby was being born. So we thought Swami will send us. Swami came and said, you go, I will take care of him. Kept my husband back. And he sent me away. And again, my husband at that time was not sick. But he didn't know how to cook. He didn't know, how to manage alone. He would have done it in the canteen. But his stomach was always a problem. But anyway, so Swami said, I will take care of him. And he said, made arrangements for Sevadal to bring breakfast, lunch and dinner. And every day, for the first few days, he'll say, breakfast on time, enough amount, enough food. Every day, every meal he will ask whether it came on time, the amount was enough, did you like it, like that. And many times he will be going to Purnachandra for some drama rehearsal, I think. And he will say, and I will say, so the girl, doctors around, what is this eye business you both do? I said, I think he's asking me this. And I'm answering, I don't know what he's really asking. So like that, it was such a friendly thing. And he didn't want my husband to go that time. And when I came back, he was going to come and pick me up from Bangalore. So he told Swami, I'm going to pick her up today. I say, how are you going? Swami, I've got a taxi. No, I will send that car. So he sent the car with a driver. Now, the car was a little car. So after I got out and sat in the car, I asked my husband, now, most people who come from abroad have big boxes. How does Swami think anybody can put any box here? So the driver turns back and said, Swami said she travels light, he knows it.
Oh my God.
Because I go only with a small suitcase. I never travel heavy. So Swami told him, she travels very light, don't worry.
And you're practicing less luggage, more comfort that Swami always prescribed.
Yes.
Most of us tend to lug around big suitcases when we come from the West. That's amazing. Dr. Gopinathan, when you look back at your life with so many experiences, decades of being with Swami and being tested, tried, proven true, when you look back, what are the most precious life lessons that you have derived from your experiences?
I would say to please Swami at any cost is my only goal. I make mistakes, but at least my goal is that. Does this action please Swami? Will this action please Swami? And other than that, I don't want to merge. I don't know all these things. I don't get dreams, nothing. But my action must please. And many times I am short-tempered. Then I say, Swami, sorry. Then he gives me another opportunity, not an easy one, harder one. So I say, doesn't matter. This time you have given, I will try. So this has been my most important. And to implicitly, whichever way he tells me to do, I will do. But most of the time, he doesn't directly give me, other than those episodes. Lately, after the last few years, there is hardly any interaction other than for patients. I don't ask anything. And there is no why in our vocabulary. We don't ever ask why. Why this me or why this episode? We don't ask why. And this is the moment. What have I to do to please Swami?
So you don't feel like a victim at any time?
At all. Very, very happy with what has happened to us. Difficult, yes. We don't say it has been easy all the time, but it is easier when you don't fight it. And the other thing is, no expectation. Expectation is the problem. Mm-hmm. If you expect something unfulfilled, you get irritated. Even the smallest expectation. You want to sleep, you can't sleep, irritated. So like that. But expectation I have not been able to get over yet. But small, big we don't have it. As you said, everything is fulfilled. What do we have to ask for?
Feel your life has come a full circle.
Very, very.
Doesn't it bother you? Your husband has served so many patients all his life with such a zeal and love to please God, and he's experiencing very poor health right now. Do you ever wonder?
I only say he must have earned it somehow, or it's an experience that is necessary for us to grow. Whether it is deserved or whether it is good for us to experience, it is there. It's a fact. So unless we face it well, it is only going to be miserable. So, and to be miserable is to not love Swami. We have to be happy. My husband used to say, when he first came, he had severe stomach trouble. And he would say, Swami, stomach pain. Gas. Always Swami's answer is that. So he said, doctor, be happy. Every interview as he leaves, he'll say, be happy. Come out and say, how can you be happy with so much pain? We have learned now. See, being happy and having physical problem is not mutually exclusive. You can still do it. You have to put your mind to it. That's all.
Practice.
But what makes it easy is he never complains. And he's never sorry for himself. He says, okay, this is the way it is. I may be sorry, but he's never sorry. So that makes it easy. Otherwise, a depressed person
It's very
is
hard.
difficult to live with. And he has really, now he's forgetting things. Where he has written little books for his grandchildren. Now he has to look at them to
Recall his own
recall his own life. But he doesn't mind. Once he wrote a book saying, Parkinson's a gift of God. Can you imagine? At that time he felt it was a gift. Now, of course, he doesn't remember. Did I write that? He says. Anyway, he accepts that also.
Total acceptance.
Total acceptance.